Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk you through how you go about setting your clients up with their nutrition plans. Now there's a few steps in the process. We've tried to simplify it as much as possible by creating calculators that do the majority of the work for you. Also, as we go through this process, there'll be other videos that talk about adjusting calories, adjusting macros based on the feedback that you're getting back from your clients in terms of energy levels, in terms of performance, in terms of obviously weight and body fat drops and things like that. So in order to get your clients started, the first thing that you do, we're just going to look at how we set them up on base calories. Okay, so you just come to the Fitness Revolution page and we're going to go free stuff and then calorie counter, and that should actually bring up this calorie counter page that I've got open here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're just actually going to start off by using this side here. So we're going to do this one for me. So 42 years, okay, male, weight. It's got to be in pounds, okay. Well, obviously you can choose pounds or kilograms here, but it's just in pounds, okay. So I'm about 190 pounds. Height in inches. So 5 foot is 60 inches. I'm about 68 inches, okay. And then basically it's going to ask what activity levels to choose. Now, I would recommend that you start pretty much all of your clients, unless they like hyperactive all of the time, super busy jobs, training, daily. Start them all on this 1 to 3 one here. Okay, and then you're going to choose the formula. The one that we need is the bottom one, Harris Benedict. Okay, and the reason for that is all the others will require a body fat percentage. Now, obviously, if you know your client's body fat percentage, you could choose one of those and plug it in there. But I'm just going to recommend that we choose that one now. I'm going to keep things really simple. And then we're going to click to view calories. So you hit this one at the bottom. Now if I scroll down, it's going to give me some numbers. Okay, so the first one it's going to give me is BMR, basal metabolic rate. So this is basically just how many calories my body needs just to live and to function and stuff. Okay. The next one is maintenance calories. So if we factor in my exercise and all of that sort of stuff, I need about 2,512 just to maintain my current weight. And if I'm looking to lose body fat, I need about 2,010. So that's based on a 20% deficit. Now, something that I should say here is your clients will be different. Just because the numbers say that they need 2,010 doesn't mean that their metabolism's in that place. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set them up on that number. We're going to try them, okay, for around 2 weeks. And if over that 2 week period they are not dropping, don't sort of jump ship and just say, they haven't dropped in the first 4 days, it must be too high. Give it at least a week, at the very least a week, okay? But if they're not dropping, we're then going to go in and adjust calories from there. But I'm going to have a separate video telling you what to do on that one. So for now, we're just going to take this 2010. Now, of course, if your client actually wants to add muscle, we want them in a calorie surplus. So in my case, I'd need to be on just over 3,000 calories a day, okay? So now I know the actual calories that I need, okay, 2010. I'm going to come along to the calculator here. Okay, now if I scroll up to the top, okay, and where it says calories, okay, actually I'm just going to choose this nutrition plan 3 meals, just so that you know we've got different options. We have a 3 meal option, a 4 meal option, a 5 meal option, and a 6 meal option. In terms of which one you should put your clients on, if they're on low calories, so I would say anything sort of under 1,500, really 3 or 4 meals is going to be sufficient. If you get a client that's on, 2,500, 3,000 calories a day, or a higher number of calories, you want to be putting them on 5 and 6 meals. Just because, if they're on a low number of calories and you've got it over 6 meals, they're going to be on like tiny little portions. Just as, if you get a guy that's got to get 3,500 calories in, you're trying to do it in 3 meals, every meal has got to be a big meal. And because we're eating clean food, it's really tough to get in. Okay, so low calories, smaller person, smaller frame, 3 to 4 meals. Bigger guy, bigger calories, 5 to 6 meals. Okay, so that's how I would do that. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to take the information from the last spreadsheet. So I'm just going to check out. This one's already got Dave Berryman here, but obviously you could type that in there. You can put the date in, so the 6th of the 10th, 17. So pop the date in there. And then what we're going to do, this one on the top, so where it says calories, that's in the same line as these here, that's where we're going to type in the calories that we got from the last page. Now when I click off there, it's going to insert those calories in. Now there's a handful of things that are happening here that, you don't really sort of need to worry too much about, but I'm just going to dig into them a little bit. So the first thing is we've got training day calories, which we know 2010, and we've got non-training day calories, okay, which in this case is 1608. So what I've actually done is I've created a differentiation between the two types of day, because the truth of it is you don't need as many calories on the days that you're not doing training, or if you're just doing cardio training. Now that might seem odd, if a client's doing like really intense cardio, the reason the calories are generally less on those sort of days is the metabolic demand of that type of session, the amount of recovery, the amount of nutrition it takes to help your body recover from cardio is quite low in comparison to the amount of muscle breakdown you get from weight training, okay? So what I would recommend that you do, probably the 3 days that you do with us, we have set everything up as sort of the calories are sort of what we call light, so we can get away with that. But if you're just doing walking outside of this, or going for a 20-minute run or something like that, then you'd get them to use the non-training day calories for those days, okay? So in general, 3 days on the higher and 4 days on the lower, okay? So that's how it's structured. Now, the next thing is the calories here have already been broken down into per meal calories for us, okay? So in this case, it's 670 per meal over 3 meals. Now, of course, if I was to do that over 4 or 5 meals, that number would change, okay? But this is just in this example. So 670 calories per meal. Now, the next thing that it's going to do is it's going to take the non-training day calories, if I go across to the other side, and it's broken those down into 3 meals, okay? So 5, 3, 6. So it's already done that piece for us. The next thing that the calculator is going to do is it's going to take the calories and it's going to set up our macronutrients for us, okay? So as we know, the macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. Now, the macro changes, the macro splits are different for training days to non-training days. So what you're going to find is on a training day, that you're going to be working harder, therefore they need more carbohydrates. So we get a higher percentage of carbs on training days, low amount of fat, and the protein stays pretty consistent. There's not a huge amount of difference there. So again, you don't have to worry too much about that. The calculations are all done for you. The calculator just spits all this info out for you, and you just need to give it to the client. So what we need to look at now is, in this particular case, the client needs over 3 meals. Now this is quite high. In general, I would have put something like 2,000 calories over 5 meals. But in this case, the client is going to need 63 grams of protein per meal. Okay. Now, in order to get that 63 grams of protein, they're going to need 320 grams of meat or fish. They need 4 eggs and 3 yolks plus a scoop of protein. Okay. Now that's not and, it's or. So 320 grams of meat or fish would deliver 63 grams of protein, and 4 eggs, 3 yolks, and a scoop of protein shake would also deliver 63 grams of programs. So they would choose one or the other. Okay. Now their fat intake is 22 grams. Okay. So in order to get their full fat intake, there's not sufficient fat in the foods here. So therefore we've got to add 3 to 8 grams of oil to this particular meal to ensure that they get their full 22 grams of fat. Now, right now, that's just broken down equally over 3 meals. Later on, we may look at giving you some options to be able to change this stuff, but that's the very basics of it. Now, on training days, we also need to add their carbohydrates into the process as well. So they need to get 27 grams of carbs split over 2 meals. Okay, so in order to get that, they need 136 grams of sweet potato. That's going to deliver it. 136 grams of brown rice. 45 grams of gluten-free oats, 136 grams of granola. Now that's over 2 meals. What I would recommend that you do, sorry, that's per meal. What I would recommend that you do there is to put one of those post-training. So for example, let's say if somebody was training in the morning, I might give them 45 grams of oats immediately after training, but then on the evening meal I'd also give them 136 grams of sweet potato as well. Okay, now on non-training days, we only basically want them to put it in their evening meal. So you can see here it was 136 grams twice over 2 meals. You can see it's only 134 grams in 1 meal. So what I would recommend that they do is put that in their evening meal, because it's going to aid with better quality sleep. Okay, so you can see 134 grams of sweet potato, and I get them to have that in their evening meal. Okay, so that's how we go about creating the nutrition plan. It's also, I guess, a bit of an overview to help you explain that to your clients. And in addition to this, if the client goes into the members area, there's a full explanation of how all of this works as well. Okay, so that's the setup for the nutrition. Now, once you've actually created that, the next thing that we need to do is to actually show you how to print it out and deliver it to the client. So the first thing we're going to do in order to do that, we're going to go up to here where it says page layout, and then we're going to look for the print area. So we're going to choose this one here and then select print area. Sorry, I've got to figure all that first. Okay, so I'm just going to start down here and I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. Then click set print area. Okay. The next thing I need to do is I need to go to File, Print, which is there. And then I'm going to go to this one here and put Fit Sheet on one page. Okay, that's going to shrink that down to ensure that it's the right size. Now, what I would do then is I would literally just print that out. Okay, so that's the actual thing that I would print and give that to my client. The next thing that I need to do though is, obviously we don't want to lose this information, so we want to ensure that we save these documents and put them somewhere safe. Okay, so you're going to go Save As, and then we're going to choose where we're going to save it. So in this case, it's going to be the desktop. And then we're going to hit this little down menu here, and we're going to look for a PDF. And then you're going to name it Dave Berryman. You could put the date in there as well. So we said the 6th of the 10th, 17, and I'd always add the keyword nutrition as well. Okay, so Dave Berryman, 6th of the 10th, 17th, nutrition, and then I click save. Okay, for some reason it's saying it's not a, I think it's because I've got these slashes in. So I'll probably need to change those to dashes, I think. Let's just try that. Okay, and click save. There you go, and that's that saved. Okay, so that's the process. I don't know if you could tell, but Tracy was behind me in the background there, pointing me through the savey bit. But that's the process that we go through. So basically, you use the calculator initially to create your calories. You then take those calories and put them into the calculator. The calculator is going to create all of the variations for you. It's going to create all of the different macro splits over the different types of days. And then what will happen is you'll obviously hand that to your client, talk them through it. They can also get a recap of all of that in the members area, so they can go through it there and watch that as many times as they want. Yeah, Tracy's telling me you can always also send them obviously the PDF, and that's probably a quicker way of doing it. So you can do this literally, pass that PDF straight over to them, and then they've got it, the instant that you got it done as well. The other thing that I would recommend doing, and maybe create a second video on this, is rather than saving everything to the hard drive, is once you've actually created it, is saving it in your own Google Drive. So if you create folders, and we'll talk you through all this, but essentially you'll create a folder for clients, a folder for each class, and then a folder for each person within each class. So now you can literally just go like, for me, I would go into, say it was Stacey's, who also, I would say, okay, Stacey is a client, she's in 6 AM, so I'd open that file up, I'd find Stacey's file and I'd place it in there. And every time I do something for Stacey, that's where it goes. And it allows you to keep really easy track of what you've done and what's going on, but we'll do a separate video on that one. Okay guys, I hope you found that one helpful. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to either drop myself or Tracy an email. If it's on the nutrition side of things, obviously come to myself. If it's on the techie stuff, see Tracy, and we'll try our best to help. Okay, thanks guys.